What would you do if you were 10 years into your marriage and suddenly felt bored and stuck? Can you imagine being caught up in such a situation? Amanda, unfortunately, came to us with her story of feeling this exact way. Amanda was just 21 years old when she and her boyfriend, Bright, who had just turned 25, decided to get married. Shockingly, both of their family members were actually completely in agreement. Amanda and Bright had been in a relationship for the past 3 years. They loved each other, and their families had always encouraged them to get married early. Start your lives together, build your lives, your careers, your money, all at the same time. So they really didn't see a reason why they should wait or postpone. They were very much in love, and though they didn't have a lot of money, they knew that this is the person they wanted for the rest of their lives. So of course, with the help of their families, they put together the little money they had a quick, sweet little ceremony to celebrate their marriage. Their plan was that in the first 5 years they would work. Bright was working at a company. He would slowly start to work up and up the ranks. Amanda was a budding fashion designer. She would have the chance and opportunity to, also get customers and grow her business. And after the first 5 years, they would then start having kids. So for the first 2 years, everything was going according to plan. Bright was doing very well in his company. People liked him and respected him. Amanda had started being a fashion designer. She had started getting a few clients, even though the beginning was very rough and rocky and a little sketchy. But 2 years down the line, she finally had a few loyal clients. But lo and behold, at the 2-year mark, Amanda got pregnant. Now, completely unplanned, not expected, but they were still grateful. They decided to have their child, and they were blessed with a bouncing baby boy. Again, they were very excited. Their families pitched in to support them and help them continue to grow. And would you know it, a year later, they welcomed their second child, a daughter. At this point, life was changing a little bit. Bright obviously was still working, and he was now a manager in his company. Unfortunately, Amanda was dealing with, newborns and had decided to stay at home. She had stopped doing fashion designing, and she was mainly at home taking care of the kids, taking care of the household, and ensuring that her husband was doing well. Even through it all, at least on the surface level, Bright and Amanda were doing very well. Bright was working, and though he was not home 24/7, every single time he came home, he ensured that he was a husband and a father in his household. He helped take care of the kids. He pampered Amanda when he could. They would go on dates. He would make sure that the family was financially cared for. And Amanda, on her side, was in charge of the home life. The family was her business. Ensured everybody ate, everybody had clothes, the house was spick and span, the kids were well fed, well taken care of. But you see, that started to take a toll on her. And 2 years after their second child was born, their daughter, they welcomed a third child, a boy. And by this point, it'd been 5 years. And Amanda was starting to feel the pressure. She was starting to crack a little bit. Bright was doing well, but she was home alone every single day with babies crying, toddlers up and down, and it was starting to show. Bright did his possible best. He said, "Hey, baby girl, Amanda, would you like some help? Can we get somebody to come in, like a house help to take care of something? The kids maybe, take care of the house, anything to release the load off your shoulders." But Amanda was not having it. She had had some past trauma in her childhood regarding house helps and being taken care of, and she had vowed absolutely no house help in her home. And you know what? Bright respected that. The best Amanda could do was that occasionally the neighbor would come and help her out a little bit or watch on the kids for a couple of hours. Occasionally, maybe if she was really pressed, her mom would come down and maybe help with the kids, but that was it. The home was Amanda's job and duty that she had kind of taken upon herself. Year in, year out, Bright continued to succeed and grow and continue up in his career, in his life. And Amanda struggled. Year in, year out, she was suffering very silently, not knowing what to do. By the time she hit 30, 9 years into her marriage, Amanda was broken. She no longer felt happy. She loved her husband, she loved her kids, but she was tired, she was broken, she was burnt out, and she wanted a way out. She was bored. She was feeling very stuck. She didn't understand what was going on. So, she decided, let me start going out with a few friends, hang out a little bit, do something fun. My kids are growing. Let me do something fun. She would go out with friends who were married, friends who were not married. And still, she didn't feel that spark in her life. She didn't feel that excitement. So, she started to speak to a few people. She spoke to her family members, her mom. She said, look, guys, I'm struggling. I'm feeling bored. I'm feeling stuck. I want my life to feel exciting. But everybody around her would tell her that, nah, that's what marriage is like. You have ups and downs. You have times where things are boring. That's just it. And Amanda said, absolutely not. Life is meant to be lived. I can't just be home sweeping and cooking and...
Hold up. Wait. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now let's go back to the show.
Satisfying my husband when he gets home from work, dealing with kids crying. I need a life. Everywhere she turned to, people would tell her, you're overthinking this. It's not that bad. Marriage is about compromise and all those things that people quite often repeat. And Amanda said, no, this is not going to work for me. She really started to reflect on her life and was like, you know what? I really should have waited before I got married. I should have lived out my 20s. I should have been gallivanting. I should have waited when we had kids. Like, we should have not decided to have our kids when we had them. We should have waited, maybe postponed it. We should have done something, but this is not the life I chose and I refuse to feel stuck and bored. So she happened upon TikTok and she was scrolling through TikTok, seeing different videos and happened upon content of woman empowerment. Free yourself, be the best you can be, do what you want with your life. And through these videos, Amanda realized that, she's somebody's wife, she's somebody's mother, but she's no longer Amanda. And for her, the only solution she saw was to get a divorce. So Amanda put that into motion. She told Bright that, look, unfortunately, this marriage thing, this wife thing, this mother thing is not working out for me right now. I'm gonna need a divorce, good sir. Bright was like, no, we can still fix things. Like, I've been taking you on more dates. We've been hanging out more. We go out, we travel, we do so many things. Granted, most of the time we involve the kids, but you can't want to leave our relationship. Amanda said, look, this is no longer my portion. This is no longer what I want to do, where I want to be. I need out. So through it all, Amanda and Bright got a divorce. Now, Amanda felt liberated. She could drop off her kids at her mother's house. She could go out when she wanted, come back when she wanted, go on dates and meet people. Like, she was single again. She was a new person. Unfortunately, that's not how Bright felt. His journey was much slower. Amanda, however, was doing so great that she eventually met another man. A year after their divorce, Amanda met someone new, tall, dark, and handsome. Let's call him Arnold. Arnold was almost essentially perfect. They would go on trips together. They would go on date nights. They would go out with friends, hang out, wine and dine and have a great time and eventually go to their separate houses and live their best lives. Amanda was having the best time of her life until 8 months into dating Arnold, she fell pregnant. Now, she told Arnold and Arnold said, oh, that's great. I don't mind you being pregnant, child support things. I'm down for it. No problem. But this is not going to make me marry you. Amanda said, I'm having your child, marry me. Arnold said, oh, no, we're not there yet. I'm not ready to marry you. Unfortunately, they could not find a compromise to that situation. Arnold was not going to be bullied into marrying her, and Amanda absolutely refused to be a baby mama. That was not her portion. They could not come to an agreement. They fought constantly until eventually they broke up. Now, following the breakup, not only does Amanda not want to be a baby mama, but she's not having her ex-boyfriend's kids. So she opted, with his knowledge, to terminate the pregnancy. But you see, that was not all. Following her pregnancy termination, Amanda had a few checkups with the doctor, and he informed her that, oh, my darling, unfortunately, it would seem as though that last termination kind of injured you. Your womb is no longer going to be able to carry a child. You are, in effect, barren. Now that was a newsflash for Amanda because that was not the plan. She had not agreed to this and suddenly felt devastated and lost. Now, Amanda was 32, turning 33. She was single, had no job, had no man, and the little money Bright was giving her for child support was doing very little other than support the children. So through some stroke of wisdom, Amanda decided, you know what, let me go and talk to Bright. Let's see if we can figure this relationship out again. I mean, we have 3 kids. So one Sunday evening, Amanda goes to Bright's apartment and she decides to talk to him. He lets her in. Amanda started to pour out her heart and soul, saying, Bright, I'm struggling. I'm feeling so alone. I'm feeling completely misunderstood. I'm feeling completely rudderless. I think we should get back together. All Bright could do in that moment was look at Amanda and ask her a single question. Have you finally found what you have been looking for? Because you see, whilst Amanda had been on her self-discovery journey and her independent woman, the divorce really hit Bright very hard. He was just now starting to come out of the fog and of the mist and finally starting to feel a little better about himself. Financially, he was doing very good. He was probably making $500,000 a year at this point, but he had lost his wife and his family, and seeing Amanda begging him right now didn't make him want to go back. So Amanda now sits with no career in sight, very little money to her name, no prospects, and she tells us this story begging us to give her some sort of help or advice. Now that's an Entangled web story. That's all we've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Entangled Web Stories. We post every single Saturday, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!